So hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with the recovering Democrat, Donovan Saadiq, on the Demetra K podcast, where we talk about things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, whether it's Black love, knowledge, and just the basic understanding of things, right? And so today we are going to be talking about the case of, I want to say that we're not going to talk about the case. We're going to talk about the situation, I guess, that led up to the case of Tasha K and Cardi B. So it's actually Cardi B versus Tasha K, because Cardi B has sued and is in the process of suing Tasha K for defamation and slander and just a whole bunch of things in regards to cyberbullying. So this is really a case and a situation of cyberbullying. And so, Donovan, before I get into it, what you got going on today?
Hey, you guys, welcome to the Demetra K podcast. What a great platform to have, so we can get a little knowledge, insight, and understanding of things that are going on outside of politics. Sometimes we have to take a break and, just, talk about what everybody else is talking about or hearing. The funny thing is with this subject here, nobody really is talking about it. And I think this is an important topic to talk about in regards to, cyberbullying, because if you are an influencer out there, if you're a podcaster out there, and you built up your brand, and as we know, Tasha K has built up her brand and worked it up, whatever. It's one of the bigger people out there. It could all come crashing down just because you will not cease and desist, or you're putting out the wrong information out there. You could be sued. And that's just how it is. But we're going to talk about that a little bit. But before we go, please tune into the Demetra K podcast on Speaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all of the platforms that are out there that does podcasting. Just put in Demetra K show and it should pop up, and you'll see a list of her shows, and you can go back and hear us again and again and again while you're sitting in traffic. So let's get into that.
Yes, indeed. Before we get started, we have different ways to donate to the show. We have a Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo, all Demetra K. You can find the show under those methods. And if you are not a member of the channel, you can become a member or join a super chat. And every little bit helps keeping the channel up and running to its fullest capacity. All right. So anyway, as I was alluding to earlier, so there is a case going on in court right now in Atlanta. Cardi B is suing Tasha K for basically cyberbullying, putting out a lot of false information. And Dennis Byron, he is the reporter from Hip Hop Inquirer that has been bringing forth a lot of information that people really just didn't know, and helping the public.
And that's because the judge doesn't want any cameras in the courtroom, correct?
Yeah, correct. So he's doing old school journalism, if you will.
Best journalism.
Yeah. So he's actually bringing forth and helping people understand what's going on in there. And so I don't want to hijack his stuff, but one of the major things that came out of the case is that Cardi B said that she was suicidal due to the tyranny that Tasha K, who is a blogger, as Donovan said, on YouTube. Now she has over 1 million followers. She's pretty huge on other platforms as well. Cardi B said that she was suicidal. And another big thing that came out of it is Tasha K flat out admitted that she knew the information was lies and was false, but she published them anyway via her videos because she wanted to make money. Now,
real quick, I mean to cut you off there. And right now, as this case is going on, those videos are still up.
Right. So I was going to get to that. So there's not just one video. It's several videos. It's several videos dating back to 2018 of Tasha K accusing Cardi B of a whole bunch of, I won't repeat them. You guys can go look if you want. Disgusting things. And it came from some girl who claimed that she knew Cardi B, but it sounds like they were only an acquaintance. They worked together. They don't know each other, but the girl, I think her name is Marie Jones came off as, I guess, she knew her and she knew her life and all the different things that was going on with her negatively. And so again, Tasha K knew it was lies and she continued on with it. And a lot of the videos have a lot of views. One of them over 4 million views of her, tearing into Cardi B. And so Again, this is a case of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is basically harassing and bullying somebody via electronics, the internet, social media, and things like that. And so Cardi B did ask her to stop. She sent her cease and desist letters a few times. And then it sounds like, too, that Tasha K was like, well, all right, I'll take the videos down if you agree to come on the show and let me interview you. And, of course, Cardi B said no, because for one, I don't need that type of attention. And my managers told me not to do it. And so listen, and then Dennis made a good point in that it is extortion. When you say, well, if you do this, then I'll do something. That is a definition of extortion. And so, now they're wrapped up into court. Doesn't sound like it's going too well for Tasha K. I would tell y'all this, my personal experience. I know of Tasha K, and I actually learned of Tasha K from Donovan, because I know Donovan liked her, and he still does, I guess. And she has this show called Unwind with Tasha K, and she talks about wines she's drinking. I don't know if she's really drunk or if it's a shtick, to sell wine or.
Yeah, when she started, it was about like kind of wine. She wasn't really in the gossip. When I started with Tasha,
when I seen her,
no, it was. She always recommends a good wine thing, but when she started, it was really like a small type.
She was gossiping.
Yeah,
but she wasn't gossiping to the level that she's doing it now. Right. And I never liked her. Because I don't like people who gossip. I just don't like it. And because gossip, for one, is very vicious. It is very vicious. You're talking about somebody that has nothing to do with you. You're all up in their business. And so that's what she was doing. And she was loud. She's obnoxious. She's vulgar and all these other things. And so everything that we learned about Tasha K via this trial was confirmed how I saw her as a very, and I'm just going to be honest with you, disgusting individual. I know that she has gone after Wendy Williams, and I know that's kind of ironic because Wendy Williams has done the same thing. But as we're kind of watching Wendy Williams, maybe karma is starting to visit her due to the things that she participated in and tearing into people. Yep. I mean, some of the interviews that Tasha K has indulged in is very disgusting. But from this trial, it sounds like she's not very remorseful. And as Donovan said, the videos are still up. She's still got the videos up. And to me, I'm not a psychologist. No, she sounds like a sociopath. So we're going to get into the elements of cyberbullying and what it really means to you in just a second. Go ahead.
And think about this. If the videos are still up, what's that basically saying? She's putting money over, anything else. Because as long as those videos up, and okay, like right now, people are following the trial, and let's say some people haven't seen the old videos, they're going to go back and look at those videos, and that's going to monetize and put money in Tasha K's pocket.
Yeah, and she did say that. She said that she did what she did as far as publishing the lies because for profit. So she knew it was a lie, but she went on ahead with it anyway to make a buck. And anybody who knows you have a pretty large following and you have a lot of views on your videos, that is a lot of money that you get paid. And so it's not just Tasha K that publishes lies on YouTube. It's a lot of people. And I'm going to say this because a lot of people, and I don't know what Tasha K's background is as far as if she's a studied journalist or not. I don't know that.
I don't believe she is. She's like a typical. Right. Because wait. There was another blogger she used to hang out with.
I know who she is, but I don't want
to. Nick at Night was her name.
It's a few of them.
Yeah,
it's quite a few of them.
And you don't see her stuff. All her stuff was taken down. I think she got a cease and desist letter, and you haven't seen her.
A lot of them started taking their Cardi B stuff down when they saw this coming down the pipe for Tasha K. So it sounds like this case is into the millions of dollars. That if Cardi B is successful, I look to see what Tasha K is worth. Now I don't know how accurate the internet is, but it says she's worth about $500,000. Well, I'm like, you ain't got that kind of money to be lying on people, to be right. If you got to write checks to pay for the damage, because as Mr. Byron said, he says Cardi B was like, well, it did cost me money because one of the things Tasha K and Star Marine Jones said that Cardi B had herpes. And so she says, I'm an actress. And who's going to want to kiss me if I have to do love scenes and stuff? And they think they have that on their mind, like, damn, she's got herpes. And so
Or she has to go back and get medical proof that she doesn't and produce those documents every
Well,
time.
and she did.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like she did. I don't know. Don't quote me. It sounds like she did, which whatever, you know. But it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them out there who just make a lot of money on lying on people. Lying, make just flat out making up stuff. But you know what? And I was gonna say this. I do have I am degreed in journalism to a degree. I have a degree in communication. Okay. And so journalism falls under that. But what we've seen now is a lot of these bloggers calling themselves journalists and don't have the slightest idea of what that even entails. And they're actually largely in participating in yellow journalism where they are producing and publishing stuff that is completely false.
Just William Randolph Hearst. Yeah, William Randolph Hearst, the king of yellow journalism.
Yeah, they're just making up stuff. They're making up stuff for views, likes, and then ultimately money. And so the other scary part about this, and maybe you can help me out with this, is okay, so you get why a blogger or vlogger or whoever they are may produce that stuff because they're going to get a check.
Right.
But why do they have so many people following them and not doing their own research or deductive reasoning? Like, okay, this sounds like the tea, but is it true? Why? What's your opinion on that?
Well, just like my opinion on anything when it comes to politics, it's easier for somebody to tell me what to do and be a zombie and just go with what is popular, what people think is popular. It's too much to just pick up your smartphone and Google that information from several different sources and then come to your own conclusions. So that's what I think the problem is. People have been dumbed down so far. Again, you got the January 6th insurrectionists. That's a good example of people who do not want to, even if they did do the research, they're not going to accept it.
Right. And so even still, with her admitting that she lied, she still has people following Team Tasha K. And I don't like Cardi. Let's just get this out the way too, because I know somebody will watch this and say, but Cardi B admitted to drugging men and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what she said. How true it is, I don't know. If she was a stripper, it's possible, right? Okay, but what I never like to do is deal in what about isms? Mm-hmm. What about isms? Well, what about her? She did okay, because I'm like, let's compartmentalize these things here. If Cardi B has drugged men and robbed them and all of that, guess who's coming to visit her? Karma.
Right, because other than the person that she allegedly drugged, nobody else has standing in a court of law.
And nobody's come forward to actually say, I was that dude, you know? So there is no victim, then it's kind of no crime until a victim comes forward. I mean,
but then again, in the 90s, how many people know Snoop Dogg is nothing but a studio gangster? How many studio gangsters talk about they did this and they did that and all this other stuff and they murdered and they pop and they were down? Totally wasn't true. So it's entertainment. So we don't know if Cardi B was just building a resume to get that niche of a lifestyle like the city girls and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah. But there again, there's no witness or no complaining witness. So there's not really a crime. And you know, two things could be true at once. Mm-hmm. Cardi, if she did that, could be a horrible person and a potential, you know, robber or whatever the case is. And the other thing is true that she is being cyberbullied. One does not cancel out the other. And so I like, Donovan, you've known me for a long time. And I'm one of those people, and you are too. It's like, when did critical thinking fly out the window? Like, where did critical thinking go?
It didn't even become, because a lot of people don't know how to critically think. I didn't know how to critically think until I went to college and I saw the class and I was like, what is that about? And I, went and took it and I was like, wow, I had some forms of critical thinking, but I didn't critically think overall.
Yeah. I've been a critical thinker a large part of my life because, my dad being a Muslim, it's due to math. They're into mathematics. Right. It has to line up and make sense. And so we were trained that way. But I'm like, okay, you're going to keep bringing up Cardi B is drugging men, this, that, the other. and ignore the fact that she's being cyber bullied and think that's okay? Like, how do you, as a reasonable thinker, if you say you're that, how is it if you're a reasonable thinker, do you think that makes it okay to cyberbully somebody to the point to where they will want to take their own life? And the crazy part about it is, it's not like cyberbullying hasn't led to people killing themselves before, because it has.
And actually, Cardi B testified that she felt suicidal.
Right. And so that's not unusual for a person to hear all these lies and horrible things and stuff about them to feel bad. And then I think a lot of times too, and you can speak to this, people think that celebrities are like Teflon Don.
Yeah. Because they got all the money and they're rich and they're living a lifestyle. Right?
Yeah. And this internet. People always say this. People be walking tall and talking tough on the internet all the time. You back there on your keyboard saying this and that about people. You this, you that, you this, that, you this, that. But it's like you ain't gonna say none of that at the local grocery store to none of those people. But the internet, and I always say this, even though I'm on it a lot, I hate the internet. I hate not the physical internet, but I hate the people behind the internet, because it's emotionalist. They think they can do and say whatever they want to people and that it won't have any repercussions. I mean, you can go to any comment section, I don't care what it is, and somebody and a whole bunch of people with them is talking bad about it. Somebody, whether it's their hair or their kids or their body or what they made for dinner. It's just like the mind of the internet is evil.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and people don't understand this. Cardi B is suing Tasha K not only for what she put out there. That isn't what really hurt her, because the stuff is out there, and that wasn't the hurting part of it. It's the comments that came from what she put out there.
Well, it's all of it. It's a combination.
Yeah, it's all encompassing. But what hurt people the most, because you put something out there and say, oh, Demetria has nappy hair, for example. I put it out there. You get it and you're like, it's one person. No, there's millions of people now, because Cardi B, I believe, testified that looking at comments where they're saying, ooh, why is she kissing her baby and she's got allegedly a disease? Ooh, this, that, or you know what I mean? And it just accumulates. And think of a person's psyche. Think of a person's psyche that you're saying, oh, they're looking at you like you're this terrible person. This woman's an entertainer. That's how she makes her living. That's where the stage fright comes in, and you don't want to go out there. You're affecting this woman's livelihood in one way or the other. And the thing is, Tasha K is the one that initiated.
She's the ringleader. Yeah. She's the ringleader. She's got all her mindless minions running around the internet messing with people. But the thing is this.
Like the beehive? Would you say like the beehive?
Even the beehives is like, we don't want you messing with Beyonce, okay? And then they leave it alone. Okay, they get on you for about a couple of days or whatever, then they go mind their business. And so I would also think that Beyonce, and I don't know Beyonce, but she doesn't seem like the type of person that would, say sick on, get on, and this is why, and this, that, the other. She seems like her, most people who have fans, they're a little, on an erratic side, but
fan stands for fanatics.
Yeah, I've not seen too much, because I'm not on, I don't follow a lot of people, but I've not seen anything to this degree personally, where a person is ridden almost to the point of wanting to take themselves away from here. And she thinks, she being Tasha K, doesn't have a problem with that. And that's why I think, and I'm just saying, I'm not a psychologist, I'm saying from my opinion, and I'm not saying I'm right, to me, it's bordering along sociopathic behavior. Like there's no remorse. I'm going to do all these heinous things to you, and then, get over it.
Yeah, locally, when you say that it's two things in one, here's the thing. Remember when the coup happened here in my city, when LaDonna Jimson tried to take the seat and all these other people, right? Nobody had a problem with it. And people thought, oh, well, you're selling out, or, hey, we got the power, whatever. No, it's the principle of one thing doesn't override the other.
Two
You
things
see what I'm
can
saying?
be true at once.
Right, right. It's like
Yeah.
there's a process. She didn't get, if she did it the right way, no problem, but she did it the wrong way. And we have this thing in our society. That's why I always look at bandwagon fans. Remember when everybody was a Chicago Bulls fan? Then Michael Jordan retires. You can't find a Chicago Bulls fan right now. Laker fan. Then it went to Golden State. We have this, I want to be on the winning side at all times. I just got eviscerated in the playoffs as a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I'm still a Dallas Cowboy fan. We have gotten so far away from our loyalty to oneself, what you're going to do. Everybody wants to be on the winning team. Oh, yeah, Cardi B is this, that, and because you don't like her. Oh, she was a stripper. Oh, she's a stripper, so she's got to be, allegedly dirty this and dirty that. And that's the mindset we have. I don't want her to do better than me. We have a hater nation. Everybody's a hater.
And the thing too is, I've noticed, just kind of looking at a little bit of this throughout the last week or so, these bloggers seem to have a gang mentality, and they're like gang members. Because I noticed too that between these bloggers, they're either team Nicki or team Nicki Minaj or team Cardi B. And so as I'm kind of looking at it, I'm like, this is like a gang. These like a gang of grown ass women running around the internet.
Grown women.
I'm team Cardi B. I'm team Nicki Minaj. It's like them ladies don't know y'all from a hole in the wall. They wouldn't even run in a circle with you, but you run around here cyberbullying people for what? Are you getting paid to do this? Is it like you get a pat on the back, a star, a cookie? What do you get?
Right. Well, Dimitri, was this any different than Willie Brown being in the state capitol and all them old bags jumping up and going to take a picture with him? This is where we get this mentality from. It's taught. It's something that's taught down.
Yeah.
Wait. You're going to take a picture with somebody so that you can show your friends like you running with that person. You just took a picture with them.
I'm one of those people, and you don't see me on social media as much as I used to be, because I'm really trying to get away from it, because I said the mind of the internet is evil. It's a bunch of people who wouldn't have an original thought process or a thought process at all if it wasn't for the internet, right? The internet tells a lot of people what to do and say and how to think. And so this internet mind is evil, and I try not to be a part of that, because it does stop you from being a free thinker. People always talk about, you're trying to stop free thought process, you're trying to stop people from being a free thinker. How the hell are you a free thinker if you on the internet agreeing with everybody else is saying?
Wait a minute. Abraham Lincoln said that everything on the internet is true.
Yeah. Right.
Abraham Lincoln. Right.
Right. But it's unfortunate that a lot of these grown ass women, and I guess some dudes, like, you're not productive enough in your life to where you don't have something else to do besides hoobang on the internet all day. I mean, you see grown women. I see it all the time, and I'll go on the person's profile and say, let me see what this person's about. And
I do the same thing. I look at how they're dressed, their environment, some of the postings that they say, and it gives you an idea what the person's about.
And it's like, you look too old to be doing any of this stuff.
Yeah,
you're just too damn old.
And I know people are going to say, well, who are you? You ain't no doctor. I happen to have a degree in social and behavioral science, so that's why I do that.
Yeah, I mean, because you want to see, okay, let me see what this person does. It line up with the nonsense they're saying, and 9 times out of 10, it does. It like,
it does, right.
It go figure, But I think, because people are less productive now, I would imagine, due to the internet, and people's whole being of who they are is predicated upon what the internet is saying for the day. Cancel culture.
Yeah. Can I bring this up? Surviving R. Kelly. What was that about? Allegations. Bill Cosby. What was that about? I mean, and I'm saying allegations, but notice I didn't say right or wrong. I just said anybody can make allegations. It's up to you to find the facts to see what's true.
Yeah, and that's why too, like, a lot of times I'll see people asserting an idea or something they are passing off as real. And I'm like, not anybody would Google, because Google is free. could go look that up and see that's a bald-faced lie, as the old people used to
And
say. That's a
everybody
lie.
has a smartphone.
They
Why is
don't,
it
but
called a,
they
why
ain't
is it called a
smart though.
smartphone if you're not going to use it to increase your mind flow?
Listen, the phone is smart, not them. Okay.
Right, right,
They-
right.
they-
And again, just because you look it up on Google doesn't necessarily mean it's true, because there's bias in writing and all that other stuff. That's why you should read various sources and then form your own opinion.
Yeah, like dig deep. Keep digging and
Mhm.
digging and digging. Don't just go off of, that's like
I
one of
saw
the
two. I saw two right wing blogs and a show with Candace Owens, so it's got to be true. You know what I mean? That's how people get.
and another person I'm gonna bring up, so I've actually have seen this before,
Mhm.
is with Sean King.
Yep.
Sean, I don't always agree with everything Sean King does or says. I'll just put that out there right now. But I do like Sean King and what he stands for and what he does to help Black people, period. I don't give a damn what anybody says about it, okay? Now, one of the lies that surface over and over again, and it's surprising because I see
He's not
people
Black.
who
Mm-hmm.
claim to be smart and they do their research and stuff. They keep asserting that lie that he's a white man.
Yeah, he's not Black.
He is biracial. And it's been proven and backed up with various documents from back in the day. Plus, he said it. It's like there's enough information out there for people to stop spreading the lie. But this is the thing, though. If a person doesn't like you and they've been told not to like you, the truth will never matter. Because the lie feels better because I don't like you. Because if I don't like you and I know the stuff that I've been saying is a lie, then that means I'm gonna have to eventually start telling the truth about you, and that makes you look better. So I don't want to do that because I just don't like you. Because why? I was told not to like you.
Yeah, exactly. A quick example, like me here in my local community here, Demetra, I've been dropping dime on people for over 6 years, right? I don't just talk about it. I drop the documents. Thus, I have never been sued. I've never been sued because it's the truth. Yeah. Or I don't invent a narrative that somebody's going to do it. All I do is put the documents out there and I say, here's what's going on with this person. You're the voter. You decide. But this person was arrested for this, or that. That's it. You form your own narrative. But in regards to people like Sean King, and I think he alleged this, correct me if I'm wrong, Sean King, maybe he doesn't want to put his business out there because maybe his mom was thotting. You know what I mean? Or
well,
out there.
His mama a thought, but he has said, basically how he got here. And it sounds like it was an affair, that's not uncommon, but who is the internet to make him have to put that out there? There's a lot of people who you can't even ask them what size shoe they wear. That's none of your business. But you want this man to put all his mama business out there and all his business to debunk your ignorance, right? Because that's what that is. And so I brought Sean King up to say that Sean King has endured a litany of cyberbullying, a whole bunch of cyberbullying by people who should know better, but because it gets them clicks and likes and views, they go on with the lie. And see, that's the one thing I don't do. I don't like liars. I don't like people who make up stuff just because, but they do it because it's profitable to them.
Right.
To continue the lie.
But don't we always say on the show, it's nice to get, subscribers and stuff like that. But a lot of stuff that we do, we really don't care, because we want the content to be quality content that get out there and the messages out there. Because my thing is this, especially when I started doing this, I'm sick and tired of, especially in our community, and this is all I worry about is our community. And you hear it all the time. And it is a valid excuse when it's true. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, nobody talks about that, whatever. When we put our content out, my whole point in putting our content out, like in this podcast and the different stuff that we do, is so that nobody can sit there and situationally say, I didn't know, what slander is and, the Cardi B situation and how it relates to what I'm doing as a podcaster. You've got the information right here, whatever. But again, like you said, there's a lot of people that don't give a damn about that. They want to get the bag. We could get
Right.
the bag too if we started throwing bullshit out there and all this other stuff, but we don't want to do that because I pick quality over a bag.
Yeah, I mean, it's like eventually the lie gonna catch up to you, and like you said, at the beginning, eventually it comes tumbling down. Like you have to pay for what you do to people, and this is what. Listen, I don't go to church. Haven't been to church in a long time. I do got some horns under my Frederick Douglass here. Donovan said it looked like Frederick Douglass. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But you know,
or Obote from Uganda. Go ahead. That's 1980s. Go ahead.
I don't go to church. I do believe in God, and I do believe in the laws of the universe. And I say all that to say is what you do to people or what you put out there, it comes back to you, whether it is good or whether it is bad. And so if you're sitting on this thing we call an internet, some sort of a social media, and you're out there lying on people, you're tearing people down, guess what? That's going to come back to visit you. And guess what else? It don't always come back in the way that you want it to, right? Because the flip side of that would have been Cardi B lowering herself. And I think we also got to take into account that Cardi B is not even 30. I don't think she is, unless she just turned 30.
No, she's not.
She's not even 30.
Late 20s.
She's in her 20s. So to me, she's still a kid. I got a daughter who's in her late 20s. So to me, she's
Deanna's got a 50-year-old mindset.
Right. Right. But she's still a kid. And so if you're sitting on this thing, tearing people down and messing with people, that's gonna come
as an older 40-year-old woman.
Right. And what I was about to say is, so it would have been, I guess, if Cardi B wanted to go tit for tat, she could have made some hit pieces out against Tasha K. But it's like, for what? I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm going after the bag, I'm doing bigger and better things. Like, I don't have time for this. But see, to Tasha K, that would have probably been optimal. Like, okay, most she gonna do is just make some more videos and bang back on me in these YouTube streets, right? But I say that to say karma don't always come back to you like you put it out there. A lot of times it comes back worse. Let's say Cardi B is successful with this lawsuit. Does Tasha K have all these millions of dollars? It sounds like into the tens of millions of dollars. Does she have that to pay? Did you think about that while your mouth was writing checks your ass can't cash?
Yeah, and speaking of that, now that you brought that up, her husband testified. Now, you guys got to remember, this is not a criminal case. This is a civil case. So the rules of it are a little bit different. There's no jail time involved. Like you said, it's about money and monetary compensation to make the person whole again. The husband got, and I guess it's because it's a civil case, he's compelled to testify. So again, Google it. It's totally different than a criminal case. In a criminal case, I can't testify against my wife. I don't have to testify against her. They can't make me do it, even if I know all the goods. Okay, this is a civil case. I guess he was compelled to testify. And what happened in that? It sounded like, from what the reporter was saying, he was like threw his wife under the bus. It's like they weren't even on the same page, allegedly.
Well, it sounds like he testified too, because he is part business
owner. He said, I'm the owner, but he said I had no control over taking the videos down. Like, I told her to do it. And she, see, fellas, you see what I'm talking about? A traditional man. If you were a real man and you said, take them damn videos down, she would have done it.
Well, let's let this marinate here. Okay. Let's stop right here on what you just said. Okay. Cause I'm like, between both of them, nobody has any moral standing anywhere. Like, how do you lie in bed with a woman who, and listen, I'm not talking to y'all, and most of y'all watching probably know who Tasha K is. Y'all know more about it than I do. Like I said, I don't follow her. I don't like toxic people. I don't like people with bad energy. So I don't inculcate that stuff.
Tasha K and Demetra K are not related, and there's
not at all, boo. Yes, exactly. Not at all. But the things that she says about people is so vile and disgusting. Like,
isn't she from Liberty City, Florida, or someplace down there?
I don't know where the lady from. Yeah. She nowhere good. Okay.
Yeah.
But I went out of curiosity and watched a couple of minutes of the Cardi B, the video she was talking about. Cardi B, I forget what it was about, but she called that woman everything but a child of God. It was so disgusting. And video was about, I don't know, 45, 50 minutes long or so. And I'm like, but how do you lay next to somebody every night after they get off of the internet tearing people down? Like I said, I ain't talking about no Rona Barrett stuff or no, Hollywood Tonight, Entertainment Tonight. Oh, they were off at the Caribbean islands and she had a little bit more too much to drink. Nothing, cute like that. This is like on the end, people.
We're getting paid. I got this big old house. We just had another baby. I got car payments because I believe they asked him, they asked Tasha K how many businesses there were. And she said there's, I guess, a bunch of entities in business, right? That's what she testified to. Then he gets up there and says, no, there's just one business. And allegedly, according to the reporter, because Dimitri kind of kept me abreast of what was going on, they have invited an IRS agent to be in the audience or whatever, because I guess this is going down the roads of tax evasion of some sort.
I don't know. I have heard that tax individual is in there, but again, when you out there spewing all this nonsense, you didn't think the tax people would be involved. You didn't, did you know what I'm saying? That's why I always ask, what is it going to cost me? Now, I'm not always talking about money, but what is it going to cost me if I say this about somebody? If I do this to somebody? What is it going to cost me some money? Is it going to cost me some time? Is it going to cost me some freedom? Is it going to cost me my life? What is it going to cost me? And that's what anybody who has been in business to a small degree, you have to add in foreseeability. That is a legal term. And it's a business term. It's forecasting. You have to say, okay, I'm going to make this video about A, B, C, and D, okay? I'm going to be dropping some T or some dimes or whatever they say, I'm going to be doing all of this. Now, before I make this video and put it out to my 1 million+ followers, is any of this true? All right, let's say you've done your research and it is true. Is it going to cost me integrity if I put this information out there? Like, why?
What do I have to gain?
Right. Why does anybody care what somebody is dealing with as far as their health is concerned? Why did everybody need to know that other than you just doing it for views and you're tearing people down? Why? Right.
Because, there'll be information you might have, and it has to do with the children. Yeah, you could put that out all you want, but is it going to be more salacious? I mean, you know what I mean? Like you got to have some kind of journalistic integrity. Certain things you won't cross the line on. You know what I mean?
But again, true, I agree. But those people are playing to their audience. They know. That's why, Donovan, me and you have not built an audience on nonsense, because there is nowhere else to go when you give them all the raw and the red meat of, okay, let's use your example, right? Our show is about twerking. And I get up here and
yes, Lord. I gave up. I stopped asking. I just said, forget it. She ain't going to do it.
I get up and I start twerking, and all that, and start giving you a shimmy. Then one day, I said
5,000 a day dropped on just that show.
Let's say we did that for 3 years. And then one day, me and you behind the scenes, like, you know what, Donovan? Let's talk about world peace. Let's talk about Black liberation.
Oh, you ain't got that audience.
They're going to be like,
you don't have that audience.
Exactly. But that's the audience we built, though. And so.
Yeah. So then your show is done. Everybody's leaving.
So but the people who are bloggers and all of that, they don't think about that. They don't think that one day I'm going to stop the shenanigans and I might want to do something worth listening to. They don't think about that. And so you become a ringleader, or what is it in the gladiator thing where they're like,
that's the crowd.
That's who you
Nero, or the king, Nero.
That's who you become. I got to give them the people what they came to see. They want to see somebody. They give them the thumbs down, And so that's what they create, a gladiator type environment. But
then you also got to think of this too. Okay, if you're going to be a salacious type, TMZ type podcast or whatever you're doing, if that's your brand, okay, and you built it up from scratch. You had 0 subscribers and you built it. It's like us. We had our 0 subscribers and we built up. But but we have content that affects people's lives. So it's always going to be new. It's always something, elections or politicians or something that's going to affect a law or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I have the foolishness, right? Once that foolishness is done, or I get a certain age, it's a wrap.
And I tell you guys too, I have a master's in public relations. Okay. So there's some thought that goes in behind the show. It's not just a couple of fools, Donovan and I up here, just, just going off the cuff. And then hell, I ain't got to tell y'all, Donovan got like 13 degrees. Okay. Like for real. Like I'm not.
I know I don't show it and people think like who this fool is, whatever, but that's part of the show because I'm her yin to the yang. You got to do what it is to build the show.
But one thing about an audience, it's always going to want to know. To say, I'm going to give y'all some free game, okay? What's in it for me?
Exactly.
What do I get to show up to your show let's say we do our live every Sunday. What do I get? What do I get to show up to listen to you two fools? What do I get? Yep. You got to answer that question for your audience every time. And so a lot of these bloggers, they know that they audience just show up to hear a Bible verse. Oh, let's talk about how we can get along. Nah, they want to hear who husband screwing who husband and all this. They show up for that. That's why they call it the tea. And so they got to figure out, okay, last week we talked about the nanny screwing the nanny's mama.
These housewives shows. I'm not just talking about the ones in Atlanta. There's the Orange County ones, New York, New Jersey, all the same tomfoolery.
You got to keep the bloodthirsty audience salivating. And so these bloggers know that. Ooh, last week we got 1 million views on that video. So what can we do to get even more? They got to continue to pour the blood on the steak. A
good example, and I'm not trying to big up our podcast or our shows or other shows that kind of follow in our footsteps. When Bill Cosby was initially accused, we started throwing, well, at least Demetra started throwing out facts in regards to this case. And for that man to be convicted and then turn around and released after spending 3 years or 3 or 4 years in the jail at his age was totally ridiculous. But the facts proved what we had said from the very beginning. Again, with this Joe Biden thing, how many of these people are out there that vote blue no matter who and skew in and, you can't find a AKA or a Delta out there that supported Joe Biden, even though we got him on camera. But we were telling you the facts, and if you still voted for Joe Biden, even though you reviewed the facts, that's fine. But own your shit. That's what we're saying. Like right now, Tasha K is facing the piper. I don't know if she's going to pay, but she's facing it.
Yeah, and and she should pay. In my opinion, she should pay. I think you should pay for destroying a person's quality of life based off of lies. I think you should pay. I think and this probably will set a precedence in that, just because you are a celebrity, that don't mean you don't have feelings. That don't mean that people could just do it. Because I had this conversation with my family the other day. You guys know Kanye. He got into it with a fan or something, and allegedly he hit him or pushed him down or something. Not really too sure the facts. But so some of my family members, my siblings, we get in these heated discussions all the time.
Yes.
Everyone is like, he's a celebrity and it just goes with the territory. And, you can't expect for people, to just understand that they're on the stage. Their assertion was that they do owe the fans something. And I said, and my daughter said too, and I meant this, you come to my concert, that's what the hell you pay for. You don't pay for when you see me out at the grocery store or at the restaurant or walking my dog. You don't pay to come up to me and be all up in my face and put the camera in my face and give me an autograph or interrupting me while I eat. I don't owe you that.
Like, didn't somebody do that to Gary Coleman and he cold cocked her?
Yeah, like I'm not interested. Thank you. I'm here. I'm eating.
I'm with my family.
Oh, but please, and all you know, woo, I'm your biggest fan, and all you know, and I done brought. Listen, are we at a concert right now? And do I have a mic in my hand? Am I rapping or singing to you? No, then this he gonna make me act an ass, right?
Wait, stop. If El DeBarge was sitting at a restaurant, Demetria, and you saw him sitting there with his girlfriend, because I know he's not married right now, and 3 of his grown children, what would you do?
I definitely would not go up to him. Okay. I would not go up to his table because, for one,
you would wait till he goes to the bathroom.
Well, yeah, I mean, if there was an opportunity,
right, I
would, try to, but I'm never gonna be that person.
Yeah,
to think that I am. Yeah, or you owe me something because listen, I think I'm all that too. And if somebody saw me out, which is people have before, you know, but never as I was eating, I wouldn't want nobody coming, oh, let me do. Because imagine if somebody like El DeBarge or Kanye is at a restaurant and then one person goes up to him and somebody else is, they went up to him. I'm gonna go. They never get to eat.
Yeah, it's kind of funny being here in California, and you're from California, Demetria. We see stars out here all the time. You just kind of give them a head nod or you give them a wave and you keep on going, let them live their lives, right? But then you got the people from out of town. Oh my God, let's run them down. And you're like, it's no big deal. It's Janet Jackson on her way to wherever she's going in a convertible. Big deal.
I just think people really need to realize that celebrities don't owe you anything past what you paid for.
Right.
And that they are human too. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you all of my time. I don't, and in Houston, I've seen some celebrities. I saw Albie Shore walking in the mall. And
did he lose that weight? Did he lose that weight? Did he lose that weight?
I didn't even recognize him. And he's a tall brother. I don't know why I thought Albie Shore was short.
Yeah, he's 6.
But he's tall, tall and slender. And I was actually messing with the doorman at Burberry, like Kiki and Ha and type of thing, because what happened was they have a barrier, because this was during the time where I saw them at the Galleria Mall, but this is during the Christmas season where people are smashing and grabbing. So they had a security at the door, and it was a brother. And so I went over and I said, "You ain't gonna let nobody coming up your stove smashing and grabbing." And he was and I'm hee. Yeah. And so my daughter, being nosy who she is, she wanted to know what I was kikiing and ha-haing about. So she's all up in my business. And then she backs into Albie Shore as he's walking. And he goes, something like, I'm sorry.
Do you wanna do you wanna?
So I turned around and I was like,
rescue me.
I said, I know damn well I didn't just see Albie Shore up in this mall. And it was him. Because when I went on Instagram, I said, I saw you in the gallery. He goes, I love that place. So, but I could have, because I like Albie Shore. I could have
and then the rain is fine.
Yeah, or I could have caused a big old scene and then everybody ran over there to him. But I didn't do that. So, but I think he's entitled to his privacy. He ain't going to the mall to be doing all of that.
And to me, I never was starstruck. I mean, if I see a star, it's like, hey, how you doing? And even if they're out there and I see that they're living their life, I just say, oh, wow, that's him. But you've got these people that will run with their cameras and you post it. You're not buddies with that person. Who cares?
I mean, because
I got my sister right now. I could be in any picture with anybody I want right now.
My sister, she's one of those people. She is starstruck. She don't give a damn. She see you. She asks for pictures. She asks for autograph. All that. I remember
they are dressed. Wait, that stocking chart, they dropped that, right?
Yeah. we went to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. I think it was 2004 or something like that. I think it was. And so there's a whole bunch of celebrities and athletes, and John Elway happened to be one of them that was out there. He wasn't playing anymore. Yeah. And people were going up to him trying to get autographs. And this is how me and my siblings got into this conversation the other day. He says, I'm not here for that. I'm here as a fan, just like you. I don't, and people were like, oh, well, that's rude. And my siblings were like, that was rude. I said, it's not rude.
No, it's not.
He's not playing anymore.
Mhm.
He's entitled to go and enjoy the Pro Bowl,
Right.
withatever, without people
And there are
ruining his
events
vacation.
like Comic-Con and places like that where you can go and do those things if that's what you want. And he signed up to do that. Right.
And then I don't think fans understand you treating these people like a sideshow attraction, like they in a cage or something, you know. And so I get that, but I would just say here, you know, because we got about 10 minutes left. If you are purporting to be a journalist, and many people are not, they don't have, even though I have a communication degree, I'm not a journalist. People actually go to school and do the full belt, you know, degree of journalism, right?
Well, professional journalism. The Constitution does say that everybody
Well,
is.
I'm saying to the point of, I ain't talking about because I'm on a video. I'm talking about, you know, the ins, the outs, the terms.
Yeah, professional journalism. Yeah.
You in the courtroom with the shorthand. And
Right.
I'm talking about the real deal.
Yeah,
right.
Professional journalism. Yeah.
If you're going to do these things and you're going to spill the tea on people, make sure that you're doing it and you're not going to have to pay the piper. Make sure it's not going to cost you something, because we know that lies catch up to you, you know. And the other thing is this: me and Donovan old enough to remember Jenny
Donovan
Jones.
and I. Go ahead.
Right. I told you I ain't got no damn journalism degree, okay?
Right.
Donovan and I, okay?
Uh,
We old enough to remember Jenny Jones.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
what happened with Jenny Jones?
Oh my gosh. And it really had nothing to do with Jenny Jones. The fact that that young man was embarrassed and he ended up murdering.
Well, the Jenny Jones show set him up.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
thought it was cute because they had done it before. What it was they brought some man on there, and
he had a crush. It was a crush.
Well, they brought the man on there who didn't know why he was there.
Right.
They told him some lie. And then it comes out that the dude, some other dude, this is what people wasn't really hopping out the closet like that yet.
Yeah.
Brought some dude on there, said he had a crush on him, and the dude wasn't gay.
Yeah,
and so
he was humiliated.
Took it on the chin on the show, but then when he got home, he offed the dude.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you can see that clip on YouTube. It's still on YouTube.
Yeah, so the dude was embarrassed.
Of the show, not the actual killing.
Yeah. The dude is embarrassed. I don't swing that way. Why in the hell would you bring me on national TV and get a kiki and ha-ha out of it at my expense? You know? So the dude snapped. And with that show, it changed the trajectory of how those talk shows work, because even Oprah at one point in time was doing the gotcha, you know, interviews and hoodwinking. And she said, I am no longer going to be operating in that space anymore. And Oprah turned her whole show around, and the rest is billions of dollars of history. Because y'all remember Richard Bay? He was like the OG of this, you know, and Ricky Lakes and all them cats.
Ricky Lake and all these other things like
that. Robert
Downey Jr.
Robert
Downey Jr. He had a show.
Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah, they all had talk shows, and that's where Oprah changed her show. And then Geraldo, remember Geraldo with the Klansmen? And they were throwing chairs and stuff. They just said that was it. They were done.
It's all fun and games until somebody get offed. Then because Jenny Jones was sued behind that.
And her show shortly ended.
So, and Donovan, you have a history degree, one of many.
Okay.
That's why they say it pays to study history. Yep. If you're going to be doing these things, look at the people who have come before you. And see how they fared. Like, where is Jenny Jones? Like, we didn't hear Jenny Jones anymore after that.
And that's a good point, because when Geraldo had the Klansman era, that was one of his highest rated shows of all time. So guess who did their homework and said, what we're going to start doing? Jerry Springer. And that's when the fist fight started happening and all that other stuff. Yep.
Yeah, but then
one time Jerry Springer surpassed Oprah in the ratings.
Did. Jerry Springer, that
27 years on the air, 27 years.
That was some real hood stuff right there. Okay, I mean, it was just guilty pleasure TV. I watched it a couple times. I was like, okay.
And then who followed Jerry Springer, kind of in that mold?
Steve Wilkos.
He did another show, Maury Povich, an accredited journalist.
And he's married to a journalist, Connie
Right,
Chung.
Connie Chung.
Right. But he's like, okay, this is a shtick and it works, right?
Yep.
Now, but see, the difference between Maury and those people is what? Money.
Yeah, Maury got
deep pockets. They got a whole machine and a network and all that behind them that I'm sure they got all kind of malpractice insurance, a whole bunch of other stuff. They can back their stuff up. Now, if you got a little channel on YouTube, yeah, you got a million followers, it's still a little channel in the larger scheme of things. Make sure you got your ducks in a row when you out there putting out nonsense on people, because everybody ain't gonna take it on the chin and say, well, this is just that's just what it is.
Exactly. And in the modern age, the new talk shows, what's the mold now? You got the Talk, the View, the Chew, Sister Circle, Queens with Cocktails with Queens, or whatever that stuff is. That's the new playbook. That's how they use it, and they do their stuff.
Yeah, it's like a conversational type of, thing. But yeah, it's just really a word to the wise. Don't say stuff you can't back up. Don't say stuff you have no knowledge of, and don't defend it. But more importantly, I'm gonna say this to y'all as audience members, that's really a slap in your face that a lot of these journalists believe that, or these wannabe journalists and bloggers think that you're so stupid that they could tell you anything. And Donovan, what do we call that? We call that the appeal to authority.
Oh, yeah, the appeal to authority, yeah.
Appeal to authority. A lot of people think a person like Tasha K is the authority because she got all these people sitting down with her.
She got 3 million viewers, whatever.
Yeah. So you just automatically assume she's telling the truth. You automatically assume, well, it must be true because she's telling it and she got this person saying it's true. And you just go with it and don't say, wait a minute now. Like, for instance, I've been hearing this whole, and I know you've been hearing it too, Donovan, the whole Drake and the condom hot sauce thing. It's like, come on, man. Let's put some real brain power. Let's put a little brain power to it. Wouldn't it be, and Donovan, you're a dude, not to get all up in your business, but let me just ask you this, okay? Would it be easier after you get done with your little 2 minutes of fun?
Right.
Would it be easier for you to take it off and flush it, or take it off, get a bottle of hot sauce that you hid off in the bathroom, pour some hot sauce in it, tie it in a knot, and throw it in the trash? What are you doing?
My mom always told me, you flush it. Simple as that. Simple as that. Take it off, pop it, flush it.
So what me and you just did, you and I, we applied logic to the situation. Now, it could be true on a weirder scheme of things. It could be true. But we applied logic because it doesn't sound plausible. Imagine if everybody did that when they hear stuff. Okay, let's do some math here. That doesn't sound right. Imagine if everybody did that, then the nonsense would cut down significantly, and it would start shunning and debunking these people who come on as authority figures.
Yes, but in this case with Drake, it is alleged that the woman did seek.
Where's the court documents?
Well, again,
I think TMZ produced. Most time when somebody go to court, if a cricket takes an ant to court, TMZ is going to have the document. Where's the document?
Yeah, allegedly, as I'm saying, allegedly she's going to seek a legal remedy for her injury, not for the action, for her injury from him supposedly doing that.
Urban legend. My spidey senses tell me it's an urban legend, and Drake is a genius. I wouldn't debunk it either. If there's no credence to it, I wouldn't debunk it. If you fools want to believe that I'm running around with hot sauce in the bathroom and pouring it in condoms and throwing it in the trash.
Right, but let me ask you this though: what if it is true? Hypothetically, if it is true, what does that say about the culture of our young women out there that are willing to bring a child into the world? If this is true, if it's true,
and I don't believe that it is, but I could be wrong, right? If it's true, and it says about the culture of women like that they are horrible individuals. But let me take it back, because Donovan, I like to do this. The better question is, what does it say about a man who is so desperate to sleep with somebody that he clearly does not want to procreate with, that when you would do what you're doing with her and take the condom because you're afraid she might try to do something with the contents, and you're gonna put hot sauce in it to stop her from doing that. Why are you sleeping with a woman like that?
Right. But you know, you got a lot of immature men that are really boys that do dumb shit like it's a funny prank. You could really hurt somebody because the vagina is a very sensitive.
Well, that would be on her, dumbass.
Yeah.
You're putting something like that. You going trying to be shady, and now you got a hot box for real.
Yeah. And you know what? I have to ask myself this with that. If you're going to put a condom on and he allegedly put hot sauce in there, wouldn't you question the red stuff in the hot sauce? In the condom?
Right. All of that. That's too much like thinking.
Yeah.
That's too much like logic. You know what I mean? So anyway, y'all, that is our hour. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. Again, please like and subscribe to this channel, and definitely like this video. And if you haven't already, think about becoming a member, because here on the Demetra K Show, it's in my name, but it's Donovan's show too. Help me and Donovan and I been doing this for God. How long we been doing this, Donovan?
At least 6 years.
At least six years.
Yeah.
So, we bring you forth the information. We are very knowledgeable, and we try to get the information. This is a good channel, y'all. So become a member so you can stay abreast of what's going on. And every Sunday, we do go live and we read each and every comment from us to y'all as audience members. That is the with them. What's in it for me? What's in it for you to become a member of this channel? Your voice is also heard. So Donovan, what say you before we get out of here?
Again, I want to remind you guys, you can check out the Demetra K podcast. It's on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, and all of your podcasting, eventing items. So guys, if you're sitting in traffic, you got nothing else to do, tune into the Demetra K Show, and we're going to be continuing to put these videos out as we go, because we figure, hey, not everybody likes to watch videos. Not everybody likes to listen to podcasts. So guess what? We're trying to kill two birds with one stone, so you can have the experience of the knowledge.
Yes, indeed. And please make sure to follow Donovan at Donovan Saadiq. You see, he's the recovering Democrat, but Donovan Saadiq on YouTube and Facebook as well. Donovan does his own little podcast and stuff like that, and bringing forth a lot of information in regards to politics and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, if y'all ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, or ideas, let us know. We would love to chop it up here on the podcast. So anyway, y'all have a great day. Be safe. Peace.
Peace.